All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry now for Justice Hill. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down right around the 37. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
First down, and it's Hill again. And a solid run down inside the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, D, let's go.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Here we go. 50, Pittsburgh, 53. Coming.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they just...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 22 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
57. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Check. Fresno.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And right away, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Let's get this. Single, slop. Hey,
here's Brissett. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off.
Brissett again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Again, it's Brissett. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Keep playing hard.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Check the backer. Switch. Go. Hatch it.
From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 79 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Colts take over first.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Brissett. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Brissett. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Brissett to throw on 1st. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Watch the pass.
A 1st down throw for Brissett. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Aaron Donald. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
That's good for a Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 30.
21-3 is your score after 1.
The end of the first quarter with the score, Ravens 21.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Go, go. When the rep, let's go right here. Squeeze.
Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on second and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Brissett from the gun on third. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's Thomas. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Eluding, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
He's moving, boys. He's moving. 53.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long, escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. Watkins, the intended receiver. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Hill to try again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Down. 60 out low. Ricky.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, can you help dig this hole? See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the... end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The first throw here for the backup, Taylor. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They needed 19, and that's precisely what they got. And by the length of a football, it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. Catch made here by Campbell. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Forced out to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Aaron Donald able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Dancing to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Let's go now. 20, 18 Gator, 18 Gator.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
On 3rd down, Taylor. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They begin to drive with Hill. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards on the ground. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
I got you. I got you.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch the screen. Switch it.
Ingram. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Check 31, check 31. Whip, 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 whip.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Let's go, boys.
A huge play that time for the Colts. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Taylor. And he slings one that's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Jordan Evans in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Taylor. And he's got his man Hilton. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Taylor now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go! Hey, hold on. 57. We ain't giving up nothing today.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Tyrod Taylor keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Extra point put through by Succop. And that will get them one closer. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. Yeah, I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Let's go now. The Ancient Gator. The mic. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On second and a couple. Taylor. Looking for Campbell downfield. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 3rd and 2, now Taylor. Buying time to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Hines. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute, because
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Hill. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
First down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
53, Mike 53. Here we go, D.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it, as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
At the 47-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
It's going to be a long day. Switch.
This will be caught by Brown. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
He'll return it from the 6. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's be honest.
Don't forget today. Today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again. Taylor.
Coming to you.
He's going to let it fly. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at their 49-yard line.
One last shot for Taylor. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make